Welcome back, Cowboy Nation. It's your boy, Cowboy Jeff Freeman, along with Gil Johnson. And this is the Big Sports Talk Podcast, where we talking what we know and love. That's
Dallas
Dallas
Cowboys.
Cowboy football. What's up, Gil? Man, you see that game last night? A
Man, listen,
tie? Playoffs?
my
A
pops used to
tie?
hit me all the time, man. A tie is like kissing your sister. Is meaningless, right? Especially for all the work and dedication that these players put into week in and week out or year round. You hit a tie, it's like, oh my gosh. But I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing, but that 1 second should have ran off the clock, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
who was working the clock on that,
yeah,
man?
they
That
they's like,
one
"Oh, yeah,
second?
we just going" like, as soon as it hits his pad, the ball bounces off the back of, Sack's pad and I'm like, "Dog, roll that clock off, champ. There's supposed to be a
Yeah.
40-37 win. We supposed to be talking about a win right now, not no tie." But, I mean, I'll take it because I don't think anybody in America, thought that Dallas was gonna come out with anything that even remotely looked like competitive football. Except for Jerry Jones, because he said it before the game. But Jerry, okay,
Yeah, the
Jerry.
whole world picked the Cowboys to lose and lose bad, and the tie. I got mixed emotions about the tie, but like you said, that should have been a run. We should have got that game with a runner. It shouldn't have been no 1 second left. I don't know who was working that clock, but that was just kind of a bonehead play by Love, man. You taking that chance? I mean, that could have went the other way, man. But the Cowboys should have won that game.
Yeah, that sounds like a repeat record right now. Week 1 was like that. Here we are week 4 with the same outcome where, a matter of inches and a few plays here and there, and we're looking at 3-1 instead of I don't even learn to say it. 1, 2, and 1.
Yeah. What does that stand in this grand scheme of the season, Gil? What I mean, what do you do with that? With a tie? How's
Exactly.
that? I don't understand that.
Right. Right, right.
But
So I
so it was a homecoming for Micah Parsons. And that defense, looking at all the podcasts out there and all the announcers are saying that this was the second coming of the 85 Bears, one of the top in the league. So Micah Parsons come back. It's a lot of emotions there. How do you think this team did against Micah Parsons?
So I think in previous episodes we kind of talked about expectations and we kind of were unsure of, our head coach and of our offensive coordinator. But after 4 weeks of football, I've learned one clear cut thing. Shotty is a hell of a coach. Okay. Him and that and his OC, they know how to properly game
Clayton
plan,
Adams.
take advantage. Yeah, Clayton, and take full advantage of personnel that's provided to them. I wish they could do both sides of the ball, but I'm like, dang, if you would have told me, going into this game, Mike is returning home. You look across there and what Green Bay's front seven can do and has done, this season, and we're going into it without BB or Booker, and then say, yeah, we're gonna lean on him. I'd have been like, yeah, I had it chalked up for a long day for Dak Prescott, but to my surprise, man, they really, I'll even count that tackle at the end of the game in the overtime as a sack.
No.
I really feel like if it was instead of it being Ferguson, if the guard had got a hand on him, one more second and it would have been over with. He would have ran that thing in there, dived over the top, and then it'd be a whole different ball game or story. But yeah, I think they did a more than excellent job preparing for Micah to taking him out of his rhythm. They doubled him, they chipped him. Williams got in on a lot of those blocks. A lot of stuff they just took him out of his game, which I expected. If if a team knows how best you play and how well and what you like to do, they know what to do to kind of take you out of your rhythm. But you couldn't ask for a better game plan than what was laid out. Because I promise you, Vegas, Hollywood, Stephen A, Shannon Sharp, any kind of professional athlete, they were like, nah, Dallas about to get spanked today. And they went in the complete opposite direction. They did a great job against that Packers defense.
Man, I must say, I was nervous about the Steele matchup and Parsons, on that side rushing but Steele and Guyton, they gave it to that defense. The Cowboys ran the football very effectively, and the offense handled that defensive line, I mean, pretty well. Even when they brought in Nate Thomas, man, I think Steele had got hurt for a second. They took him out, then he was on the right side, then they flipped him over to Guyton to give Guyton a breather. And he did well, man. He held Parsons in check, and they just was really effective moving the ball up and down the field. And so I give kudos to that to the Cowboys offensive line, even with T.J. Bass and Brock filling in at center and guard. Man, it's just like they didn't even miss a beat in that run game as well as in the passing game. Yeah, and let's Micah getting that garbage sack at the end. I mean, that's not really a sack, man. But I know
It fits
statistically
the
it goes in the
storyline.
stat book. But it did impact the game because if he didn't stop
If he didn't stop
Dak,
Dak, that was he running that
yeah, that
anyway.
was a touchdown. But even though he didn't get all the sacks, he did have quite a few pressures. I think he ended up with 8 pressures, Gil. So he did. That was definitely a pretty good game. It still remains to be seen who won the trade. But overall, that Parsons, he did pretty good, and I think the Cowboys line did pretty good.
Yeah, they did a wonderful job. Like I said, I think even me, I had doubts that they would even be competitive in this game because of the shortcomings, let alone, I was watching the pregame. He came in that white suit and he was coming through the visitor side to get in there. He was pissed. They
Yeah.
out here doing the wand, checking his bag. He like, man, I'm not even supposed to be over here with that. I said, I got something for
Yeah.
y'all today. I got something for you. But yeah, it's still early, man. That trade, I think time will tell. We need at least 2 years, 2, maybe 3 years to kind of evaluate whether or not that trade was worth it. Probably 4 years because you got to get these rookies and see if they turn into anything.
Yeah, man. Dak Prescott, Gil.
Hold on 1 second. Hold
I'm
on.
gonna just say Dak
You
Prescott.
talk while I do this. Hold on.
Man.
Keep talking. Yeah, keep talking. I'm coming. Hold on.
Dak Prescott put on one of the best performances of his whole career.
Hear me? You hear me? You hear
No
me?
Dak Prescott shade, not on this podcast.
No
No,
slander.
you're not talking about
No
Dak
slander.
Prescott on
Okay.
here.
No slander for my QB, big dog. He went out there. He went out there without his number one weapon. Okay. And he had a new running back to this team. Okay. They looked at each other and said, man, we about to take over this damn game. Okay. We about to take over this game. I don't care what they got over there. We're not giving Micah nothing tonight. Okay. Tonight. All right. He was masterful. He was, I mean, you know what? He's been this way the entire season, to be quite honest with you. It's just a matter of different key moments or drops or whatever the case. But I think he's been playing the best football of his career this season. Like he's been super accurate. He's been placing the rock in positions for his receivers to make plays, dropping it in the bread basket, accurate, right in your hands. And it's kind of like, wow, like, okay, where was this, 4 or 5 years ago in the postseason? We still got a long way to go, but I'm like, man, this one just feels more of, I have a chip on my shoulder. I have doubters. This is his game is showcasing what other players would just talk to the media about. Like, y'all know who I am, this, that, and the third. He is like, you know what? I don't talk much, but I'm about to go out there and show y'all who I really am. And I really wish, I really hope that, commentators don't brush off what he's accomplishing right now because, it's easier for other teams that have loaded rosters or they have key guys that are healthy and they play healthy the entire season. This man, you might as well say they stapled his hamstring back to his leg surgically. Okay. He out here with a screwed up ankle, that was turned the other way from the Giants. He turned into a passer. And then he's out here, he's playing the QB position at an all-time high level. And I mean, an all-time high level with guys that, what other teams wouldn't even consider, like their starting, will crack their rotator, their roster for starting receivers. And I love it, man. I give him the utmost, credit for this one. Like I said, it just stings because it ended in a tie. And it's like, man, I'll take the loss.
Tie.
But, oh my God.
God.
That work, it deserves something. It deserves some type of, where can we put this? I hate to even think about how they're going to calculate this when, let's say if it is close, how does this work in the playoff push when you see that asterisk next to you? I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's
So,
not a
I mean, we got
loss.
time, but I'm like, sheesh.
It's not a loss, but it's not a win.
Yeah.
But look, let me tell you, Dak balled out, and one of the things that they're never going to show up on the stat sheet is the way how comfortable he was moving in that pocket, man. He looked amazing and looked comfortable, like he was sitting at home on the couch watching the game. I mean, he moved, he felt Micah come up that one play. Micah got to him, that one pressure that Micah almost caused the fumble. He just slipped up. He just stepped up in the pocket,
Sweet
delivered
feet.
a pass. He no wasted movement. He's moving around. It get a little bit shaky. He'll roll to the right. He move. I mean, he just was man. He just looked amazing last night, and he put most of those passes. He put them right there for the receiver to give. That one, I don't really want to get into Pickens yet, but that one that he threw that 50-50 ball down there on the sidelines with two defenders, man, he put that thing. It couldn't have been put even better. I mean, that was one of the top, probably one of his top throws that he's ever made. That's one of his top throws. So Dak looked really good. You could tell the confidence in this man. It's not like the old
He looked
deer in
like
the
he's having
head.
fun again.
He's a seasoned vet. He done been through the fire. He done heard, the ridicule, been through all this, and now this man is on a mission. And I just, like I talked to you offline, I just hope that we don't squander this type of play. It's important that he get MVP. That's a big accolade to get, but I would rather have a Super Bowl, and I'm pretty sure he would rather have a Super Bowl than an MVP.
Yeah. Excuse me. Man, I think really for a good tester for players, right? Because the fans get caught up with the individual accolades like MVP and, touchdown leader and breaking records like that, right? But as a player, as a competitor, you're taught your whole life to go out and win. You basing your career off of wins, So I look at Dak and he's like, look, listen, even if I was in the conversation, right, I would have to play like out of my mind. I had to put up 60 touchdowns for you all to consider me just because I have he has a star on the side of his helmet to win that award or that trophy, which is the situation like, okay, I'm not even focused on that. I just want
Just
to
want to
get
win.
into the postseason and I want to win an NFL Super Bowl championship. It's honestly, to be quite frank with you, it's the greatest storyline ever. Can they get one before Jerry, or even if Jerry goes before they get another championship, right? Can Dallas return to like in the documentary? Prime said they're not chasing other teams; they're chasing the old school Cowboys. They're chasing the triplets. They're chasing that '90s dominance. And I think this year is the first year where I've really seen it on his mind. Like, okay, forget everything, forget the excuses, forget what I don't have. Every week, I'm about to come to work and I'm going to make these guys better, and I'm gonna showcase why I'm the QB1 of this team.
Yeah, and I know, we talk about, I've had conversations with you about this team, referencing the Cincinnati Bengals. I said, look like we're looking real Cincinnati Bengalish, I must say, with the way that we have Dak having to put up all these points. But it is what it is. I mean, the defense is not performing. This team is on Dak's shoulders right now until this defense showed up. I'm not gonna change my opinion of that because that's just what it is. This defense is not performing. And Dak, looking at the game last night, third and long, third. I mean, he delivered. Normally like, man, I know it's gonna be a punt. They're gonna
About to
hand it
come off
off.
the field.
They're
Go ahead.
gonna, hey, they're gonna hand it off, Gil, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna punt. But they were like, hey, Shotty was like, hey, we're gonna run this across the middle. Bam, Ferguson, first down. Bam. Man, he just was delivering those throws in clutch times. That's why I know there's
So
just a different thing, man.
if I could pause you right there, right? Okay, so previous years when we run into those situations and it's like third down, 35 or 38, and we just come off the field. Yesterday's game felt different.
Hmm.
Shadi was like, listen, I have utmost confidence in you as a player, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
put you in the best position for you to play your game. That felt different to me. To me, it was like, you know what? I'm ready to live and die by the decision that you make on this field, but I'm going to give you the best option to make it work. That was a cultural change that I think we haven't had in a while. I kind of compare it to how Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson is. Like he would always go up and say, "Do you want to go for? How do you feel about going for a fourth down? Or how like I got your back 100%." And I think that's a serious difference maker with this season because we had no idea, if this guy if he could really be the coach and if he can get that out of his players. And I really feel like right now, man, the offensive side of the ball, all I really need is like maybe two to four tweaks on the defensive side. I don't need to be, number one defense in the league. I need a stop here and there. And games going forward in the future will look a lot different if Dak can continue to play like he's playing. That's all.
Gil, George Pickens. George Big Time Pickens.
Like make
Let me tell you, last night was a come out. That was just a coming out party,
Mhm.
you know, in a good way, man. He put on a clinic, and this is what we've been waiting for as fans. We've been waiting for him to just get in the sync with Dak and make these plays. And now let me tell you this, Gil. Now CD, you know, I hated to see CD go down. All Cowboy fan hated to see CD go down. But it was kind of I was really curious to see how this receiving unit would perform without CD, if that makes sense. I didn't really want him to, you know, I didn't want him to get hurt, but I just wanted to see what we had with the Flanoys and the Tolberts and Pickens, and just to see how they would perform, And but with Pickens, he made those big man. I said it in the beginning of the season. His catch radius is infinite. He dropped that critical, he dropped that critical first down. Well, we can put that to the side.
Yeah, we can overlook that
We can
based on
overlook that, but he had over 130 yards and some
eight
tutties,
catches,
So
buck
tell me
34.
what do you, I mean, how did you feel about him? You know, I know you happy about Pickens, but just tell me, I don't know, the overall with Pickens and the receiving core.
So number one, right? So last night, Dak he completed passes to 8 different receivers on the field. Okay,
Wow.
which to me says, okay, Pickens did a damn good job of stepping in at the number one receiver spot. Okay,
Absolutely.
you know, that's the ultimate, you know, if you want to be a number one, it's not always about you getting the most snaps, you know, getting the most catches and the most yarders and all the touchdowns. A number one means a coordinator is planning for you, trying to take you out of the game, trying to, you know, like, all right, make sure we keep this guy as best we can under wraps so that, you know, they got to force it to other players. First half, this is the bomb we throw, goal line, that perfect 50-50, you know, close to the sideline. Like, look, this the only place I can put it for you to catch it. He goes up over 2 defenders, drags it in there. I said, okay, something has for sure changed in that locker room because he woke up and I'm here for it. And I'm hoping that you know, in 3 weeks or maybe 6 weeks, well, I guess when we end up playing the Broncos, he can kind of carry that same energy when CD returns to the field, where they could be lethal, or they could just believe like, yo, there's nobody that can check me 1-on-1 in this game of football on either side of the ball. And I just hope he keeps that. But I give my hat to him for an incredible performance. Like we said, 8 catches, 134 yards, 2 tuds. He opened the field up for Floyd Nord. He opened the field up for Turpin. It actually got to the point where Turpin could have really got loose a couple of times, which I'm a little mad about. You know,
Turpin balled out.
Turpin speed. I'm actually, you know, starting to pay more attention, but I'm sure Brian saw it too, where he's like, I'm gonna utilize him a lot more. Turpin was he was a nightmare 1-on-1, spin off, take off. I'm like, bro, we got a 5-yard lead on this man. You need to give him a shot. Give him a shot. So
He didn't look that way. That was on Dak. He didn't look that way on him. So
he forced that. He definitely forced that. But my guess is that Pickens was the call. So he's I'm gonna give Pickens the throw. But he said, man, look, just glance left because you missed. That was a walk in. It was a
you know
walk.
what frustrates me, Gil?
What's that?
Man, you know, Tolbert, you know, he'll disappear during the course of games, and then all of a sudden you'll get one of these 60-yard bomb strikes
Hmm.
with the dotting the I on the sidelines. He'll make that type of play. His consistency, it just frustrates me when I see, okay, you disappear, you know, most of the times during the game, like Chicago Bear games, you would disappear, and then all of a sudden you reappear on one play, and then we won't see you again. That the consistency of that, or you'll drop a pass, or you know it'll be third and clutch, and you know the ball will hit you right in your face mask, and you will drop that pass, and that just frustrates me with him. But I guess from what I hear, the organization loves Tolbert. He's not really going anywhere, and Dak loves Tolbert. So I mean, it is what it is. But you would think that you would get a little bit more out of Tolbert. I expect more out of Tolbert than Turpin, really. But Turpin been out playing Tolbert.
Listen, let me say a couple things, right? So number one, Turpin, he's like my version of AI. Remember they used to say if AI was 6 feet, it'd be over for you Negroes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Turpin was If Turpin was a 6-foot receiver playing like that, he'd be just like Pickens or potentially like CD Lamb. He'd be unstoppable. Okay, but I think the head scratcher for me when it comes to Tolbert is it's like, dude, listen, you got the size, you got the speed, you got you can do the few. There's nothing that you can't physically do on the field, but like we all know that you belong there, but I just don't see where's the hunger or where is the like, yo, throw me. I would be mad if he said, yo, throw me the ball.
Throw me the ball.
Throw me the ball because I'm going to get open or I'm going to get over this. This guy can't check me. Okay. And I
Right.
think that's the part that we're waiting for because you can see it. You can see like, he going to he keep giving you flashes. He had a decent season last year, but he keep giving you flashes of like, okay, I can be there when the moment is needed, but don't look for me too much.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I did my part. Now, y'all go close this out. And I'm looking at him like, look, if I made that catch like he did on the Tony toe tap on the sideline, I'm looking at the coach like, hey, come look for me in the back of the end zone. Not I'm talking to Pickens like let me finish this off. Like let me finish this one off. Okay. So, but yeah, I get it, man. It's a frustrating thing because with him there, you look and you say like, okay, I shouldn't necessarily have to look for Floyd. Floyd Lawrence should be like a fourth or fifth option, but you
Yeah.
making him like third because Dak don't have the trust yet in you. Well,
But
maybe he got
man, when he touched that ball, boy, hey, he gone. When he got that end of the round, he gone. He got the dotted eye. He got an out pass, I believe, last night and he just shows up when they call his number, and that's what you want. That's what I want for Tolbert. I just want him. He on the off season he says all the right things. I'm gonna do better, this, that, and the third, but it got to translate on the football field. But with that being said, Gil, the linebacking core
oh
of the
man.
Dallas Cowboys. We're not going to talk about the D line. We're going to talk about the linebacking core right now.
Hmm.
What are your feelings about the linebacker? I know what I feel, but I want to hear your perspective on this linebacking core right now.
So this is a C+ unit at best. Okay, number
Man,
one.
that's very generous.
And I'm exactly. I'm being very generous because I can't say that they've given me a complete picture because the guys that make plays are on snap counts. They're not in the game. They're not in the full game. They're not starting. I don't. They don't get the full reps of a game. But like I was telling you before, like I get the sense that this is an evaluation process. Like I've never seen this before, but it just feels to me like okay, we're giving guys opportunities in limited moments. And then when they do get on the field, they're like hungry to make plays or mistakes. But they're so like, okay, I got to do something because I want to stay on the field and I don't want to come off. But it's either to our benefit where they make a great play or to our detriment to where it's like, okay, I just messed up big time and it's a costly penalty. That's where penalties come from. When you got a guy thinking too much on the field instead of like, okay, I know the defense and I'm ready to take my position and what I'm supposed to cover or where I'm supposed to attack and then go from there. That's what happens really when, a guy he's not getting the reps that's necessary to go through it. So I give a generous C+ on it. I like what Houston is doing on the field, but you can clearly see sideline to sideline. We're gonna have issues with middle of the field passes, with running backs that get outside when the edges, and it just screams like Overshown, come save me. But I don't even, I'm not even looking for that. Like he's coming back off of two, terrible
Major
injuries.
surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't even want that type of pressure on his mind because it takes time to physically get back to what you want to do. But for me, I just look at it like when they decided to trade Micah and they wanted to go after these picks, that he's like Eberflus is like, okay,
He
this is
brought
what
his
I'm.
guys in.
Yeah, he's like, this is what I have. Okay, this is a trial basis every week. I think Brian said it in the beginning before the season started. The spirit of competition, like nobody in AAU terms, like nobody's spot is guaranteed. Week to week, you can lose your spot if you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
But
And that's
Gil,
that's just that's just what I see from the linebackers. But you probably go deeper into that.
Gil, why are we doing trial? It's the fourth game, bro. Why are we still doing trial bases? We should have a pretty good grasp.
So
You got a good piece of body. You got a good body of work in the first three games.
my response to that, right, is Eberflus don't want none of those players on the team.
Mhm.
If I'm being 100% with you, right? Most coaches, when a new regime comes in and a new system is being put in, the first year of it, like you expect mistakes, you expect blow ups, and you expect guys to take a second to kind of get used to it. Eberflus is kind of like, I'm willing to go through. I'm willing to to be under fire. You know, if that means I can, if I can build this defense from scratch the way that I wanted to do so that I can have the coverage that is necessary. Tony Dungy said it best. He was like, if Micah Parsons if there was some kind of way that they were able to keep him in a Dallas uniform, he felt that he could have been spectacular in this system. It's kind of, similar to that Tampa defense when he was in Tampa Bay. Also, what he was able to do with Dwight Freeney in Indianapolis. So I get a sense that they're just the conversation before the season with Jerry was that we need more pieces. We need guys that can make this system work. Now in the grand scheme, that sounds great, but in practical, what we're seeing week to week is it's a show of garbage. It's a garbage
Yeah,
show. Right?
it
We
is.
out here getting torched in any kind of manner. Players are confused. You can visibly see the players are confused. They have no idea where they need to be on the field. Because I'm looking at the Chicago game. I'm like, look, okay, it's one thing to be a bad defense that you don't have talent or guys are getting beat. It's another thing when you get like a dude just runs a route scot free, turns around in the back of the end zone, catch, not a hand up. Nobody, everybody turn around looking like who had him. I'm like, bro, it's just we don't understand what you're asking us to do. And I
Yeah, so
think that I'm gonna end it with this. I think that he's going through the process of starting from square one, and week to week he's making adjustments. But I think ultimately he's preparing to clear this defensive roster.
yeah, most of these guys he brought in, I know he didn't anticipate Micah Parsons leaving, but particularly looking at the linebacking core, Jack Sanborn, he's processing the play. He can see the play happen, but his physical is not matching him with his IQ, and he just got exposed. He really got exposed last night. Josh J, they just Love was just throwing,
Yeah.
dumping it off in space against, and they just exploited Jack Sanborn. He was just dumping the ball off in space, and Jack Sanborn just could not get to him.
I can't
Even
get to
when they were handing it off to him, Sanborn, he'll scrape across and he'll get to the hole, but he just was not athletic. He just not athletic enough to get to that spot and make that play. And then you had Kyler Murray. I mean, I keep saying Kyler, Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth.
He got hurt. He got sucked up in blocks. He just wasn't there. He wasn't feeling. He shows up. I talked big about him against the Eagles because he had a pretty decent game, and he just disappears at times. Then they brought in. I was a big advocate of Maris Leofow, and he gets in. They put him in. He gets a bonehead penalty, and then he missing tackles. So I see why. Okay. I see why the coaching staff don't want to put him in. Then you put the rookie in, Shamar. And then Shamar is out. He don't know. He like, man, what is going on? He getting cooked. So I'm going to just chalk it up right now. We just don't have the talent right now to, and then people like, and then you sit Damone Clark out. He's not activated. Y'all deactivated Damone Clark, who's probably been the most solid linebacker that you done had. Overshown, he's coming back in November, and that's a big question mark. So I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but it just,
they did.
I guess you just got to check it. I'm going to move on. You just chalk it up that this unit is not I don't anticipate anything better. I don't see it.
They are what they are. Like they expect what they expect.
So, Gil, we've said all that. The secondary is the elephant in the room. I say this for last. The secondary is a big elephant in the room. They finally brought Bland back off of injury.
Snap count. So hold on. You know what's crazy? I hate when they say, okay, we got a guy back and then we put him on a snap count. I'm like, you're saying to me that you want to play him limitedly, but he's not healthy enough to play the full game. You know what that says to an offense? The offense said, "Man, we going right. He not
they
ready.
Going right. That's what they did.
Bro, like I wouldn't even put that in the report that, oh, he's on a snap count or we're gonna bring him in slower, this, that, and the third. I would just say he's cleared, he's healthy, and protect him in a different way. But it doesn't make sense if a guy has to be snapped like that. If he had to be set up like that, they're gonna make it hard for it. They you know that.
They went right
got
at him.
right smack, and it was bad too. I'm like, dog, I'm like, look, bro, I know you've been out, but you do remember how to turn your head around, right? You did get 11 interceptions. Like, turn around, put the ball. Like, come on, man. It
They
was
cooked
bad,
him on
then
the
that's dangerous, right? Because
yeah.
that's how confidence goes down when you're coming back from an injury. You want a guy, once confidence drops, then now we got a bigger problem than them physically saying like, okay, my limbs and stuff, I can trust my body to do what I need to do. But yeah, it's
Hey,
right out.
Gil, I think we can go ahead and get rid of Elam, man.
It's
I think
time to
they can
clock
go
out.
ahead and it's time to just cross him.
Go
Don't
go
even
ahead,
put him
close
out
your
there no
locker, big
more.
dog. It's time for you
Man,
to go ahead, go turn your key in, buddy.
yeah, I think you need to go ahead and hang your cleats up, dog. It just don't look, man. It just, oh my goodness, man. He is getting roasted. I mean, every week, and it's just like, what
Yeah,
in the world? And then, I mean, they put Diggs on the bench. Diggs getting cooked. It's just painful to watch, man. This offense is putting their best. You getting a good offensive effort out there. They are pushing the ball downfield, they're answering, man. All we need is one stop.
right.
Every time the defense got on the field, I cringed. I'm like, man, come on. Okay, it's 3rd and 8. It's 3rd and 8. Then they playing 7 yards off the ball on 3rd and 8, and dropping 8 in coverage, man. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Tucker Kraft having an all-star game.
So
He going across the middle, first down. I'm like, oh.
Crab can play, but I'm like, man, this is crazy. So the part that makes that so bad, right, is we all know the mantra: defense wins championships, yada yada yada, this, that, and the third, right? But the type of offensive output that they put up, it does what for a defense? Is time of possession, okay? We driving on these dudes. You got time on the bench. They had plenty of time to look over the plays, look over the mistakes, kind of rally to get it together. That, like, I got you. Just hang tight for a second and get back on this field. They get back on the field and they look more lost.
Yeah.
And like every time they came, it's like, bro, like
What
who
is
now
going
gotta
on?
look? I'm like, hold on, who got swapped? Yeah, that was the thing. So we're rotating linebackers. So you're like, wait a minute, isn't what's called the game? Nope. He out on this series. I said, oh, so
But
yeah, it's bananas how they're doing this rotating thing at the linebacker spot, because obviously these second unit guys do not know the playbook as well as they should be. We need to probably, as the season moves on, I'm pretty sure I'm hoping as a coach, he'll make the adjustments to do something a little more traditional and, put like declare starters, declare captains as whatever he got to do. Let me not say captains, but, declare who the starter is going to be and who's going to hold these positions, and then like stop this rotation, bro.
Hey, for
Stop this rotation.
one thing, they need to put James Houston on the field. Let's stop. Okay, let's stop playing this game, man. Let's stop playing this game with Dante Fowler and all. Hey, man, put James Houston
Put him on the field.
on the right end and let him ball out, please. Cowboys, Jerry Jones,
Eberflus.
all of them. I don't know. I don't know with Dante Fowler, and it's just like, man, y'all paid the money. Okay, it didn't. It was a business decision that didn't work. I mean, I know you paid him and everything, but hey, it didn't work. Let's get James Houston on the field. Let's get him more snaps. Okay, let's put Ezraku and James Houston on the field and bring Clowney in to spell both of them.
I would do that, or maybe you could flip Fowler to linebacker position. And
let's put Damone Clark at linebacker.
Come on, man.
And let's put Kenneth Murray. He's probably your best linebacker until Overshown come back.
Put these boys on the field.
Yeah, let's put Rebel
and let them get comfortable in what it is.
Yeah,
that's all I ask.
Yeah, put Reddy Stewart. Let's put Reddy Stewart and take Elam and put him on the show.
Turn your brain off, and it's time to go to work, man.
It's
time to go to work.
Yeah, Gil. Let's do some common sense type things, man.
This is football.
That the average fan, the average
Yeah.
fan is looking at that, Gil.
Right.
Yeah. So, I wanna highlight Javontae Williams, man. That is he gets honorable, man. He gets all met. He's all pro.
I really
early
feel like
all pro. And
He
and,
about to
and I'm
win Most Improved Player of the Year.
he is, man, he is playing his heart out. And I'm gonna tell you, Gil, they need to wrap both. They need to wrap Pickens up early. Don't play these contract games, man. Wrap Pickens up and wrap Javontae Williams where you can get them at a reasonable rate. What say you, Gil?
So Pickens for sure, without question, you're looking at it like, he's going to be a key piece moving forward the next 4 to 5 years. 25, both of them 25-year-old receivers, they can be number one. CD obviously number one, but Pickens just changes the dynamic of a game, right? Best to go to the table early to get him out the way. Williams, now we'll see how they work out that deal for him. But like I said, man, he was on man time yesterday. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he was, when I say we talk about running the football and not like, oh, we going sideline to sideline, bro. I'm coming at your muffin cap. I'm going right up the. I don't care what you got over there. I don't care what you got over there. I'm coming smack at you. All I heard all night, clap, clap. I heard clanging, and I'm looking up. I'm actually thinking that, like, is he okay? Because I'm like, man, that was a shot. Your man's went out there and earned every bit of those 70+ yards in that tud. Okay, he
Yeah,
earned that. Okay,
they
and he
kind of
he was blocking too. I said, man, look, you're not Ezekiel Elliott, but you doing your thing out here today, buddy. You out here doing your thing. Because I easily thought that was going to be we going to stop this. I never know week to week what I think, but I think he's at his position, because I got him in fantasy, right? He's top 5 at the running back position right now. This
mm-hmm.
boy is he doing it the hard way, and I'm like, man, people wrote you off. This the get back year, so I'm giving him like big kudos, holding that. The rookies ain't gonna see the clock, to be honest with you. They not coming in to take that job from him. But
Now
he playing man time.
I think Blue is going to come in since Sanders went out with an injury. But
Yeah.
all the praise that we gave to Shotty, I would say that he had a couple. They had a couple of. They left some plays on the field in that red zone where they could have used Javon. They didn't give Javontae Williams a shot to run the football into the end zone. And you're in the red zone. He was gashing Green Bay all night, and then you kind of abandoned the run in the second half where, okay, they stopped him on one play, but you didn't really.
Yeah, like come back to him. Come
They
back
didn't
to him.
come back to
Come
him.
back to him. Yeah.
They didn't come back to him, and you got to give him that. You got to get that bell cow touches, man. You know, you want to limit his snap count, but he's giving you 4 or 5 yards of carry,
Yeah,
and
he
then
motivated, bro.
and then in that red zone, man, we could have ran on them, man. They're not even, their defensive line is not even. They're not better than the Giants' defensive line.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't say they better than the Giants' defensive line. So they could have ran that. They could have ran him, gave him a few more touches. Even on 4th and 1, they could have gave him the ball, and I
Yeah.
think he would have made. You got to take that
I'm definitely
a chance.
Yeah, from what I've seen thus far, he is earning that in my eyes. Where it comes down to more critical situations during the regular season, you know what? Let's put the ball in this guy's hands and let him make the play. Let's live and die by that. And you never go wrong with a solid run game. But yeah, I'm giving him big props because I didn't really have high expectations for him. Like like I said, when the line is healthy, when those guys is leaning on folks, I'm like, okay, you're doing what you should. But man, yesterday, I'm trying to tell you, big bro,
Yeah,
that
you look back, Gil, at these games like, man, the Eagles of the world, we let that get away. Okay, we got the Giants.
we squeaked.
Okay, okay, okay. We threw up on the bed. We threw up. We wet the bed on the Bears. But this game last night, man, it just these
That was
games
different.
as a if you have aspiration of being a championship team, you have to perform it in the moment, and you got to capitalize on when that moment presents itself. You have to capitalize, Gil. And these games like this, man, it's just like, man, at the end of the year, you be like, man, we should have had this team. Should have got the Eagles. Should have got, it just
Yeah, they
you
always
got
come
to,
back and bite you in the early part of the season because as the
yeah.
season moves on, health becomes a factor. The talented teams can afford to take, setbacks or losses because they can muscle their way out of it. But, we got some pretty significant shortcomings right now. So it's like you can't afford to just go ahead and tie and, drop
Yeah.
passes that would have won the game. But I mean, me
But
personally,
look at Gil. Look, I don't mean to cut y'all, but look at the Eagles, man. Their offense is atrocious, man.
yeah.
That game yesterday, man, they didn't even score. in the second half.
Mhm.
AJ had two for 7. I'm like, and they still won, man. They are playing ball, but they find a way. The Phillies of the world, the Kansas City Chiefs of the world, no matter how terrible they play, they
Yeah,
always
you
find
just
a
you just
way.
figure out some way to get out of the game, because at the end of the day, oh, it don't matter how you win, a win is a win.
Yep.
Win is a win, and you don't have to look back and say like, "Dang, we lost that game because I didn't." You could be disgruntled when you're winning. Like I hear all the talking about AJ Brown and the tweet and the Bible verse and the scripture. And I say that's all fine and dandy. I mean, I don't see how those two things necessarily correlate, but um, I can understand your frustration. It's like, I didn't come here to be $1 million decoy. Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't come here to not, like it's not fun for me to be on the field all game long running these routes. And then my quarterback, he can't get me the ball. Like, so I argue with guys all the time about, QB play and how important it is. And, people talk about winning instead of third. I said, you'll see what happens. You got to at least feed them. And I think the part for me is I'm so confused. Like, I'm sorry, the first half of the game, he should be getting the ball.
Mhm.
You should start
He had 9 targets, so he can't really complain. You getting the targets. It just
sporadic. It's been sporadic this
yeah.
entire season, and I
But
think that's
forget
the
that.
frustrating part. But yeah, I mean, we
Forget
can
them,
move on
man.
from that part.
Yeah,
But
forget them, man. But that's our time. I don't care too much about them folks over there anyway, man. But hey, Cowboy Nation, the good, the bad, the ugly, we're gonna always love our team, man.
mhm.
Right now, this is our time. Thanks for hanging out with us with the Big Sports Talk podcast. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And till the next time, Cowboy Nation, so
See you on the next.
long.